to today's episode of Story Time. On Story Time today, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to talk about one topic, that is, avoid unpleasant comments about people. Avoid unpleasant comments about people. What do I mean by comment? That's expressing opinion over an issue. Let me give you some of those unpleasant comments I am thinking about. Number one, ladies and gentlemen, do not comment about a woman's age. Women don't like it at all. You're talking about their age. No. Do not talk about people's insecurities. What do I mean by this? They are describing somebody, you say, he's too old for that job. He's too old to do this. He is too young to do that. He is too naive to do that. That is, I'm talking about what could be considered their insecurities. Don't also comment a lot about professionalism. I am thinking of level of education. People sit somewhere and someone is sitting. You say, look at that man. He doesn't speak like somebody who has a PhD. Why? We suspect the certificate. We don't even know where he took it. Oh, no. So, when we are talking about professionalism, level of education, avoid those very unpleasant comments. You don't talk about people's size. Especially, say, look at his buttocks or her buttocks. Look at her stomach or his stomach. But you know what? Those buttocks you are talking about or that stomach you are talking about, that is what is sending people crazy about that person. The person, the woman or the man has large buttocks. Those are the large buttocks that many persons are dying for. The stomach, that is what people are dying for. You don't talk a lot about people's appearance. Somebody sits somewhere and somebody talks about a dress. You say, that dress, it did like say the man buy for krika. Or you make a comment somewhere. Tom, that Joey dress fits you here. You know what you have done to that man's reputation? That Tom dress, it fits you here. It takes my mind back to what we used to talk those days in the 60s. Beg and proud. Where somebody goes and takes another person's dress and then it appears gallant in public and somebody just comes and says, Master, that Peter dress fine for you. No. Avoid unpleasant comments about people's private life, intimate life. Imagine people are sitting somewhere and a widow comes in pregnant. She's pregnant. And then somebody just says, hey, Master, who said this other belly come out now? You don't do that. The kind of comments you make about the manners and behavioral pattern of people. You see, somebody sits there and they are talking in a crowd. Another person just says, see that wakado. Tiko a day, limbe a day, mamenda a day. What's your business in there? People are sitting somewhere and they're having a drink. They ask somebody his choice and the person says, Heineken. You hear one person just jump up with an unpleasant comment. You recall that Heineken. So now your choice na music. You feel by Heineken. Or they put whiskey and somebody is drinking. How do they drink that whiskey like water? So if you buy them? No. I'll tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. It happened to me in London in 1985. I'm talking about unpleasant comments about people. In 1985, myself and late Timothy Likunze were on a trip to Trinidad. We had a stopover in London, and it was for Guinness Marathon in Trinidad. So our stay in London was sponsored by Guinness. A team at the time in the Premier League, sponsored by Guinness, Queen's Park Rangers, was having a league match during the week. And our host decided to take us to the stadium to watch that match. Queen's Park Rangers against Watford. At that time, they hadn't really put a ban on people getting their beer in the stadium. So we went and sat in a crowd. And most of the people who were there, we didn't know were supporters of Queen's Park Rangers. Then, The popular player, John Barnes, was playing at the time with Watford. Outstanding player. A player of Queen Park Rangers jumped on him, gave him a sliding tackle, hurt him, and he went on the ground. And suddenly a group of supporters of Rangers behind us, they were definitely drunk. They just stood up and said, "Hey, don't punish the white man, punish the black man, punish the black man. Even though he's on the floor, he's the person who is wrong." I just got so angry and decided to make an unpleasant comment there. I said, "Shut your mouth. What do you mean by they punish the black man? Punish the white man instead." And ladies and gentlemen, I would have met my death. 4 of the people behind me carried me up from my seat and they were going to throw me down the crowd. You know, like when you go to the stadium, those days in Yaoundé and Douala, in the popular side, they say, "Envoyé." They were going to throw me over. That would have been the end of my life. So a few people were beside me, held and said, "You don't do that." Can you imagine? Yes, a comment I made in public. Let me tell you something. Most people who make unpleasant comments about others, especially in public, are people who are seeking for attention. Know it today. Watch. There are people who are seeking for attention. And they are even covering up, if you go deep, they are covering up their own weaknesses. Oh, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, the consequences of unpleasant comments in public. You cause people a lot of stress. Because when you do that unpleasant comment, wakadok, we say you come out with this other belly. You know how stressful that can be? It causes a lot of anxiety for people. It causes a lot of depression on people. And it helps to bring down the self-esteem of people. And then it gives people a mental problem because you know the brain processes very easily negative information. And you know the consequences. They leave emotional wounds on people. My dear brothers and sisters, how can we handle such situations? How can we deal with such a situation? If, for example, you are the victim, people make unpleasant comments about you. The few points I would like to share with you today. Find out why that person made that comment. Number 2, sometimes you have to be objective because some of the comments that are made, they may have a root. There are some people who are known to be, nuisances in many towns. They go around just saying things about people. They are like mad people. But when you listen to the madness they are talking about, there is a root. Look, when people are making unpleasant comments about you, don't join the drama. Somebody says, "Look at that one, langatin, begatin, lightin," and you two turn. No be your papa be, no be you. You join the drama. That is when you give the people more fuel, even because that is when they become even more creative. They will hammer the thing back to you until. One of the ways to handle it, my dear, is let it drop and you walk away. Let it drop and you walk away. Sometimes too, some of these people, they need help. I know that you could be so angry, but then sometimes think about how you can help them. I have gotten such cases of a guy who was the nuisance in our quarters in Three Corners in Kumba, real nuisance. And unfortunately, even related to me. But when I saw what he was doing, hurting people up and down, I thought that we could keep him and talk to him and advise him. Sometimes too, ladies and gentlemen, you could even be quiet like that in public, but you also make unpleasant comments about some people. So check yourself. You might be a person of unfair utterances, and sometimes people are doing that to you just to revenge. When they make those unpleasant comments, please focus more on positives. And then you should learn how to keep your boundaries with those kind of people. So you have to be very careful. Once more, please, Do not make unpleasant comments about people. Try always to be positive in your look. We'll be coming with more. That's how far we could go in this edition. Bye. Keep watching us.